Hello, shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say, call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Give me one moment. Salakia. First and foremost, I'm going to say, call on Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash, giving all praises to the great I am, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of Gods. Much love to his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Much love to the elect, whoever they may be among Israel. Much love to the prophets who give us this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Sorry, for the stability of the times and the strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is a treasure. Amen to that. Prepared us for these times that are coming, these dark times. Much love to the Akim, the brothers that's in the Word. And whether you be from a camp or not, you go to the highways and byways. You do your record. You do everything in your power to show you how about Shem Shai that you love him. Much love to the beautiful Aqua, the beautiful sisters that's in the Word. And whether you got a man or not, you still follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. In the name Yahweh Shai. Much love to you guys. Sorry, I got something in my teeth. It's irritating. But back at you with another important episode, and I'm gonna label this end times, the third day, and which we are in. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, I do believe he said on the third day he will rebuild the temple of Jerusalem when he came back, and it's been 2,000 years. So one day in the eyes of the Lord is 1,000 years. So we on the third day, and I wanted to show you this record of this man. Robert Kiyosaki, and he knows what's coming. You know, he knows that America is at the point of no return. He knows that the dollar is about to collapse. BRICS nation is taking over pretty much, and other nations are joining. And he's telling people in his own way to prepare for the times that are coming. You know, because it's going to get to the times to where people gonna be doing bank runs, as he will explain in the video. People gonna be starving. They're gonna be once a person was your best friend, now he your worst enemy because he doesn't have resources to feed his children or his wife. You know, it's gonna be real bad in America in the next couple months to follow. He said it will happen in just 3 weeks, so we gonna see what's going on. Right now, the financial bubble is about to pop. So he is he's not accurate on the times, but at the same time, I wouldn't doubt him. Right now, like I said, America's at the path of no return, and they crossed that threshold, that red line, and World War III is brewing so far, from what I've heard. You got Turkey involved. Turkey is involved with giving Ukraine weapons. America and Britain. Then you got the Russia, and then you have the allies of Russia, which is North Korea. So it's looking like World War III over there for sure, without a doubt. President Putin is pretty much announcing World War III, and right now what's going on is that everything is coming ahead through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's beautiful design. Everything is perfect. The domino effect is coming. America is on the verge of collapse, and without further ado, I'm gonna present this man, Robert Kiyosaki, and he pretty much knows biblical prophecy. He's just not gonna say nothing about it. He's just gonna put you on a sort of economic level of what's going on. And one of the main keys that stuck out was the third day, and he'll explain that in his own way, you know, just as well as I did. And the bank runs that are coming, because they're trying to cut off the smaller banks, the weaker banks. We don't know who they are until they're revealed later on, probably following late spring or, you know, the beginning of summer. It's no telling how this is going to play out. But some of these banks, they got to go. And a lot of people that are saying that these times are not going to happen, and they saying that everything is going to be okay, or they try to ignore what's going on and try to make it seem like everything is mystery and conspiracy. They're going to be the same people that's going to be flipping out, freaking out, not understanding why, and it's going to hit them hard. You know, especially those of us dumb Israelites that feel like the money is going to flow. You know, they support the Make America Great Again. You know, they believe that Donald Trump is going to make everything okay when he can barely put a band-aid on the situation that's happening. So as far as I'm concerned, everything is on a downhill slide. Everything is going to shit for Edom, you know, and all we doing right now is sitting back and letting Yahweh Shem Shai do his wondrous work. And we laughing at these Edomites and they great fall, you know. So I'm gonna play this. It's real important. I'm gonna play the whole thing if I can.
Talk to him, you know, because what? Be careful for those who are not paying attention. We're about to go into be careful for those who are not paying attention. We're about to go into what's called the Wile E. Coyote moment. Everybody's running along and says, oh, don't worry, the Fed's got my back, you know, the economy's fine. I love this guy Biden, you know, and America's the greatest. Be careful for those who are not paying attention. We're about to go into what's called the Wile E. Coyote moment. Everybody's running along and says, oh, don't worry, the Fed's got my back. I love this guy Biden, you know, and America's the greatest, the economy's safe, all the. And when people crash, when this thing crashes, and it's coming soon, it's the people that are not prepared. The people who are not watching this are the ones you're going to have to be afraid of. Be very, very afraid of those who are sound asleep at this moment, because when they wake up, they're going to wonder, what happened? I knew something was going wrong all these years. I didn't get the bigger picture of it. So this is the emergency broadcast. Janet Yellen herself, the FDIC, and the Federal Reserve Bank will determine which banks survive and which ones die. Number two is, what does it mean when Japan and Mexico want to join the BRICS? And the BRICS stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and on and on and on. But if you have Japan and Mexico, who are possibly as close to us as Canada, joining the opposing side. So I'll just tell you a quick story. I went to flight school, you know, to fly these things in Vietnam, and they wanted to prepare us for the worst. So how did they prepare you for the worst? Well, they make it the worst. So what they did is they take us out into the Gulf of Mexico, off of Pensacola Beach. They simulate a parachute crashing into the ocean, so it's freezing weather. I think the temperature was -3 degrees or something. We hang out the back, we drop into the water, we got unhooked, then we paddle ashore, little rubber ducks, you know, there's like 7 of us in a group, and we go ashore into the swamps of Florida. And our job is to survive. So it's a simulated crashing in Vietnam or the jungles. And then we had to figure out how to survive. So everything is like a little Boy Scout camp. The first day, everybody's happy, you know, we're chugging along. This is easy, this is easy. Day 2 gets a little bit more serious. Then day 3, we're hungry. And this is what I'm talking about. It took us till day 3 to turn into animals. We went primal. I was ready to kill the guy next to me. You know, we're starving to death. We're hungry. These guys are chasing us with guns, you know, blanks, of course. But we're running. I'm eating palmetto. I mean, just ripping palms apart, trying to get a little piece of nourishment, starving to death. We finally shot a raccoon. And 7 men, 25-year-old men, and 1 little raccoon. And pretty soon we were growling. We were just like a bunch of wolves. And the side of me came out of me that terrified me. Is what happens when you go primal after day 3. What happens when your neighbor goes primal? Because they finally wake up and say, you know, I should have listened to emergency number 1, emergency number 2, and emergency number 3. So I thank my friend Andy Sheckman for keeping me informed personally about what's going on in the world. So really briefly, could you give us an overview? Number 1 was Janet Yellen, Secretary of Treasury, also Fed chairman at one time, saying that she, the FDIC, Federal Deposit Insurance.
Right. And speaking of that, like you said, going primal and hunger and starvation, like Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, he would send famine, the sword, the famine, and pestilence. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be cannibalism. People are going to be eating each other. People are going to be killing each other and taking each other's goods. And like I said, your best friend could be your worst enemy in the blink of an eye. You'll get to a time and day to where in the world you cannot trust anybody. You can only trust yourself. You ain't even gonna be able to trust your family members when it get to this point. So right now, due to following the collapse, like it said in the Bible, it says they were eating and drinking and being married, and they knew it not until the flood came and took them away. We are at that part to where the floodgates are about to open, or per se, in the days of Noah, it's about to rain. So right now, a lot of people are oblivious. Like I said, they're getting ready for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, just wanting to turn up, get drunk, have fun, be with family. They are not concentrated on what's happening. And right now, at this point, with all the stuff that's going on, it's right in their face. It's right in their face. It's on the news. It's every fucking where. All the way from the economy last run to World War III, to the segregation of the immigrants, followed by the tyranny of the prisoners of war, which is us, the Israelites. It's all in their face. Even our own people choose to ignore the signs. Like how about Shem Shai said, "Fools, you can discern the time of the day, or you can discern the signs of the weather, but you can't discern the signs of the times." So at this point, this man is telling you that it's going to happen. This is unavoidable, bro. This is permanent damage. And like they said, when you start seeing the first signs of people lined up at banks, and we're gonna find out soon which banks are closing down for good and which banks is still gonna be standing. And you gotta understand, people are working and people expect their money to get deposited in this bank just for them to tell them that they ain't getting their money. You got people that are morons that are keeping at least $300,000 in the bank, and and they trust in the shadow of Egypt. They trust in this government just for the government to do what they would call a bail-in, which you're gonna get to, and take all of their money. The system crashed, they take all of their money. And when they reboot the system, if it does reboot or they go and check their account, it's zero. And this man probably done spent like 10 years trying to get to $300,000, or that was just a part of his savings. But this is the point from people that don't listen. But at the end of the day, for us Israelites, we don't need all that materialism. This is just for the Edomites that like this materialism. They like this lifestyle, and they can't believe that their reign is coming to an end. And it literally is right before our eyes. It's almost over. It literally is almost over. World War III is about to turn up to a whole nother degree real soon. Right now, it's just burning right now. It ain't full blaze yet, but it is starting to burn. So with that major sign, everybody's afraid, and this is what they do. Even our own people, we still gonna celebrate Christmas. We still gonna do what we want. We don't care about what's going on. When Donald Trump get into office, he's gonna revive the economy. Everything's gonna be all right. He's gonna make it good with Russia, and the way the damage is done right now is nothing's gonna be good. There, it's still not gonna be good. I don't care if he try to put a band-aid on it and stop supplying Ukraine with weapons. That shit's not going to change anything. So, yep.
Corporation and the Federal Reserve Bank will determine which banks live or die. Why did that terrify you? That's number one.
That terrified me and the people that I've been talking to over the last few weeks to a level that I've never seen before, and myself personally. Let's break it down. First of all, there's roughly 5,000 of these regional banks, and these banks, Robert, are responsible for roughly 70% of all the small business loans in the United States. And the small businesses have traditionally represented anywhere near 40% of GDP in this country. They are the backbone. These are the banks where you walk in and they say, "Hi, Robert. How's your family? How's your dad? How's your mom? How are your kids? Oh, I'll see you at the Little League game tonight. How's the new business going?" And they make loans based upon relationships, not upon balance sheets and business plans. They are more of a piece of the community for all of Middle America. And the majority of all the small businesses in this country have relied upon these banks because of a relationship. And where a business plan and a balance sheet may not stack up so well with one of the big 5 or 6 commercial banks, it works with the small regional banks. And so what she said was, when being interviewed in a House subcommittee inquiry, the gentleman, the representative from Oklahoma, said, "Madam Secretary, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here. You just bailed out Signature Bank, and you just bailed out the depositors at Silicon Valley Bank. Now, if one of my constituents in Oklahoma, who has $5 million in a regional bank, goes bankrupt, if the bank goes bankrupt, will that depositor be bailed out?" And everyone else, all of the banks in Oklahoma. And she said, "No, sir, they won't be. It will have to be determined by an uber majority," as she termed it, between the FOMC, which is the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, myself, and the president. So in essence, what she was saying is that they will be judge, jury, and executioner. But if you really look at what she's saying, she is basically saying that if you have money in any of the banks that are not systemically too big to fail, then you better get it out, because they will fail and you will be bailed in, and you've been warned. The question then becomes, which banks are too big to fail? Which
And that right there is confirmation about the breaking of the fish gate. We at that point. I do believe the Great Depression in World War One, I think, or two. That was the first time the dollar collapsed, and they went to war during that time. Then you had the 2008 crash that wasn't too recently, and then now you got this. Now we don't know when the crash is coming, but the way they present this and the way they explain this shit is gonna happen very soon. So like I said, woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil have come down on you having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. He's running out of time. And one thing that is confirmed to me now in my eyes is that Israel is the next in line for sure, without a doubt, even though we always knew this, to rule, to be the superpower of the world. It's not going to be Russia or China or America resurrected again. It's not going to be that. It's going to be Israel. It's going to be them, and they are destined to rule through the word of Yahweh Shem Shai. So since everybody knows that the word is coming true, and that the Bible is a true book, and that these prophecies are happening, and it's really coming to life, it's coming out of the spiritual world to the real world. These people are frightened, and now they're looking at these the street prophets, and they're looking at those of us that post these videos, and they are afraid of us, and they ready to attack us. That's what's coming next is Jacob's trouble. It says, "Alas, the day is great, it is none like it. It is even the times of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." So we are going to be the main targets. We're going to be the world's most wanted at the top, the Israelites, and they will come after us because they know that we have the blessing, and it's going that's one of the next stages from the Civil War race no from the race war no from Civil War to race war. So because that Civil War gonna crack off, because these people, and like I said, further down the line, these people are these banks are going to collapse. They're going to take their money with them. And these people are going to go to Congress. They're going to go to the White House. They're going to go wherever these Democrats and these Republicans assemble and ask for questions. Why? And they are going to tell them, but it's going to be bullshit answers. Like, people got to get paid. People got to pay rent. And you telling me that this bank that I trusted in, and I trusted in you because I thought the bank was backed by the government, you telling me that I'm not going to get paid, and all my money is gone that I saved, that I put up in there. Now, everybody knows, and anybody that got enough common fucking sense not to trust a bank, never to put your money inside a bank, okay? Never to put your money inside a bank. I don't care how big it is. And Like they said, more money, more problems. So you hoarding like what, $500,000, and you want to put it in the bank. All sorts of things can happen to your money. You can get hacked and somebody can take it, or the bank can crash like they are now and take your money with them. Or FBI lock your money up and they want to investigate how you getting all of this money. Or you can go bankrupt from your corporation flopping. It can be anything. So just never to trust the bank in the first place. But you got these people that he gonna get to it too. One part that made me laugh. You got these people that are so fucking hypnotized by America, so relaxed, so comfortable that they actually trust in the system that's been failing. Even our own people, they trust in this system that's been failing us for years, never got any kind of benefits, never nothing. Look, I've been poor since I was born, you know, living in the projects. I still stay in the projects. Nothing has never changed for me. Nothing has never got any better. I'm still struggling in hopes of doing this and getting a car and hopefully getting an apartment and stacking my money up and doing all of this. When you see stuff like this and it's like, what's the fucking point? We at that point to where it's like, why does it even matter? you know and I've been told years before, but it still gives you. That's what the Bible is for, to put you in the real world. It might sound imaginary, it might sound fairy tale, but when you read the Bible and you have that understanding, it gives you a fucking reality check on a realistic level. It's not all just pink rainbow elephants and fucking flying dragons. No, it's not. This shit is putting you on a realistic level. So when you look at that, you have that understanding. It's like, damn, like this shit really happening. But at the same time, we knowing who we truly are, and we know that Yahweh Shem Shai is going to protect us. He going to have our back. We keep our faith. We believe in the new covenant that Yahweh Shem Shai and the name Yahweh Shai going to protect us. And we rejoice at the fall of the enemy, as he promised. Like he said, sit thou on thy right hand till I make thy enemies thy footstool. So that's exactly what's happening. Jacob is going up, and Esau is going down. The paradigms are shifting at an extreme rate, and like he said, these people would be terrified, because, like he said, on the third day when they went primal, everybody gonna go primal, whether it's Israelite or Edomite. They all gonna go primal, especially the Israelites, because when they realize that they've been betrayed, and they realize that they can't feed their families, they can't make money, they don't have jobs, they don't got food, all of this is being snatched away. Them is gonna be the worst enemies ever, man. The 2/3, they gonna go crazy. They gonna be very hard to handle, very hard to calm down. They're gonna be very violent, very destructive. And like I said, Israel shall be a terror to Egypt. Ain't nobody gonna want to talk about them. Ain't nobody going to speak about them and the horrors that's going to come down. And he going to finally get up. Israel, the wicked of them, finally going to get up and actually stand for something. But they, like I said, they materialistic, and when they realize that they duped, then they going to finally get up and try to go to war and do all of that. But they will. I'm trying to tell you, things are about to get real dark in this place. Dark.
Banks are systemic. And when you have a small business or your life savings in a place where you thought it was safe, you never speculated to begin with. What's going to happen? Are you going to risk that to chance? And so she's lit a fuse under literally 5,000 banks in this country that have been the cornerstone of the small businesses and of middle America, forcing everyone into a handful of very large commercial banks. And it's a very, very frightening situation for most of these people to have to come to grips with either staying with the relationships they have and hoping for the best, while not really preparing for the worst, or yanking their money out and moving it into one of the large commercial banks, which she's telling us will not fail. We will backstop the too big to fail banks. And in essence, she's creating socialized banking, putting everyone into just a handful of very, very large banks.
The Communist Manifesto, centralized banking, that they control the whole economy. It's run by the academic elite, and you and I are screwed. So that's number one. Please understand that. Question is your money safe? in a bank? Or is it going to be stolen by the bank? It's called a bail-in.
In the last 2 weeks, I have never experienced the level of anxiety and fear that I'm feeling right now. It's almost like a vat of butter poured over my head, and it's just coating me with people's anxiety. The level of fear and anxiety, and it's awful. I mean, people are terrified right now, and they don't know where to turn. Some are turning to precious metals, and others are turning to short-term government treasuries, and others are moving to the big banks. But the amount of money being yanked out of these regional banks, which is going to have a domino effect, is extraordinary.
You speak the language of the banks. And that's the most important thing right now. Do you speak the same language the banks are speaking? What's the significance of Japan and Mexico contemplating or already joining the BRICS?
So Mexico has formally applied. The rumor is Japan, Australia, and New Zealand are contemplating. If I had to sum it up, Robert, I guess I would say something to the extent that what it really symbolizes is that the United States and their actions have done more to destroy itself in the past few years than any external enemy could have ever done, because we weaponize our source of power, which is the US dollar. And we have driven most of the world away from it as a result. And the majority of the world's populations reside in the areas that comprise the BRICS, the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, the Belt and Road Initiative, and the Eurasian Economic Union. This whole group of people that are rallying together against this type of hegemony, this type of, as you called it last time, bullying, and the perception of hypocrisy. And they are rallying away from the West. And really that's what it talks about, the ramifications of what really does that mean if we lose the Petro Reserve status. It's happening, and I guess today we would talk about what happens when it does happen.
We didn't go over this, but Triffin's dilemma and Gresham's laws and all this stuff. America has been violating all of these laws of money for all these years, and the world says we've had enough of this. So they're joining the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. And what Andy's pointing out, that means 70% of the world's population that used to use the dollar are going to take this and say, we don't want it anymore. And so there's going to be quadrillions of dollars coming back. And the ramifications of that are possibly, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it's called hyperinflation. That this thing goes to trash. This becomes toilet paper, this little dollar, because there's so much of it out there. And when 70% of the world's population says, we're not going to use this anymore, aloha, what does that mean for the world? Which brings up the Wile E. Coyote moment. I'm not worried about you guys who listen to 1, 2, and now 3. But what about the person who's fat, dumb, and happy and thinks,
There it is. There it is. There it is. That's them people that's relaxed and overweight and shit. And when the gunfire happens and when it's time to run, these people are so fat they're not even gonna be able to run, man. That's like you running with your uncle and he's so fat, and y'all running from gunfire and he fall in a hail of bullets and you gotta make a choice. Either you gonna turn back and help his heavy ass up, or are you gonna run for your life and leave him to die? This is the situations that we're getting in. This is the situations that we come into, and Yahweh being almighty, he's gonna put us in diverse situations, bro. So many strange situations. You happen to go into a hideout and you hiding out with some guy or something, and it's you and your family. Come to find out, this guy is like some sort of rapist or some murdering rapist, man, and you gotta fight him to protect your family, and you've never been and you've never been in a situation to where you have to fight or you have to pull a trigger or you have to kill somebody. You're gonna be in situations like this, and Yahweh Shem Shai is gonna have so many diverse situations. You got into a gunfight, you gotta fight your way out. It's like 6, 7 guys, trying to break into your house and take all your goods, and it's just you and your family. You got to arm your wife with a gun. You got a gun. Your 12-year-old son got a gun. And if you got a daughter, she gonna have a gun. And then you probably got a newborn baby. Like, you gotta understand the situations that is coming into play when this thing takes place. You gotta understand. You gotta really have an imagination when you dealing with the Most High. When you dealing with your How about Shem Yahushua, you gotta use your mind. So like I said, a lot of these prophets that be on the highways and byways, a lot of them that know the secret, they know what's going on. They're not in contact with their families. They don't make friends like that. The only people that they talk to is their brethren that's in the word, or they buy themselves 24/7. You know, they buy themselves 24/7, and like the one that I'm always listening to, King Yahweh the Maccabees. He's always by himself. He's staying in a and he's staying from motel to motel, and he do Ubers to support himself. He might hear from his kids or from his ex-wife or whatever situation he got going on, but ultimately he is by himself, and it is for a good reason. Because when the time come and this world pass away, you don't want to have any attachments. You don't want to have anything that you love, anything that you cherish that has a spiritual attachment to you. Because why? When the world pass away, you could pass along with it. Like having family, like having friends, like having a girlfriend that you're in love with, or your wife, shit like that. Like the Most High say, he who finds his life shall lose it, and he who loses his life shall find it. So giving up everything in this world right now, it is a must. I know it sounds bad. I know it sounds, fucked up. Some people just finished building a beautiful castle, with 4 cars, with a savings, just came up on just had a baby with his wife and all of that. And another thing about kids, this is the wrong time to be having kids. I am sorry. I am so fucking sorry for anybody that got kids during this time. You see this guy and his son born in the end times. Having children in the end times, like it's in the book of Solomon, it's better not to suffer with children, man. Don't even have kids. Because why? He was talking about this time, or actually he was just talking about living period, because it was corrupted back then. Well, not during the time of Solomon, but I think, well, okay, we could just say Solomon was talking about these times, because King Solomon is Yahushua. So forgive me on that. But having kids is a burden during these times. You got a lot of people. That's why a lot of mid-class families are failing, because they have families, because they want to live the American dream. They want to have a nice car, a nice home. They want to have the ultimate husband. They want to have a beautiful son and a daughter. And they want to have their own lawn and their own little piece of property in this bomb ass neighborhood. When that is actually the Achilles heel for them, and they can't accept the fact that they actually made the wrong choices in their life. And this go for the Edomites, and they go for Israelites too. They all being, for those of them that were ignorant and trusting in the shadow of Egypt, they all got duped. Right now you having kids, or you raising kids, and they don't even have a future. Their future is destruction, darkness, poverty, starvation, pestilence, the sword, famine. This is what they have to face. Unless they in the word and they covered your whole family believing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and y'all covered, and Yahweh Bashem Yahushai protect y'all, then that can happen. But if you're an Israelite and you're not in the word, then you screwed, man. You screwed, man. And like this time, I'm so glad that the Most High didn't put those kind of burdens on me, because who would know who knows what type of man I would be, because I'm being pressured and I've made the wrong decisions in my life that actually had serious effects, serious consequences, for the days ahead. Like I got a son and I got a baby mama, or I got a daughter, and then I got another baby mama, and I got these kids and I'm raising them, and I got to pay bills. I got to live on my own. I'm suffering, I'm struggling, I'm on the verge of being homeless, and then bam, all of this shit happened, and now I find myself, struggling with my family, and happen to feed them before I feed me. All of that shit is gonna get extremely harder for you. Like I said, when I was on the highways and byways yesterday, I'd rather feed myself with that bread than be feeding a damn child. And it's so cold hearted to say, but it's gonna be survival of the fittest. Every man for himself. I don't even care if your child is a 10-year-old boy like this boy right here. Every man for himself. And like he said, you're gonna go primal. So you're gonna either choose to take care of your family or to abandon them and take care of yourself. It's gonna be so much pressure, and it's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be so fucked up for those of them that don't believe, and for the enemy. But well, it's not gonna be sad because we all seen it coming. We're gonna be laughing, but at the same time, part of us is human. We're gonna see it, and some of us Israelites may shed a tear. Some of us that's running past, we seeing a mom holding her child because a stray bullet hit him, or we seeing people fighting and they at war, and and people dropping dead while we flying past. We seeing people still stealing money out of the breaking into the banks trying to get their money out, and all it is paper. That part's kind of funny, but we seeing all of this. We gonna have some type of sorrow, but we know the truth. Like Yahweh Shemel Shai said, I will laugh at your calamity when it come down on you like a whirlwind. Then they will call upon me, but I will not answer. I know I chopped it up. This is Proverbs, Proverbs 1 through 9. But the Lord is not going to answer you. How about Shimei Shai? So those are the Israelites that finally called on him and admit that he is everything and admit that they love him. It's going to be far too late. He's not going to answer. He's going to ignore you. Some of them might not be ignored. Some of them will be. It all depends on how you're being judged in the eyes of Yahweh Shimei Shai. But ultimately, like I said, these times are coming, and you got to be as light as possible. For those of us that came last and we didn't have the joys of life like everybody else did, you had a kid, you had the love of your life, you got all this money, you get to travel, you get all these cars and all of that. We gonna have it in the next life, and the next life is coming fast. It's coming fast. You don't have to die to get to the next life. That's the whole purpose of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You don't have to die to get to the next life. So, we didn't have all of these things. We poverty, being poor as fuck, everybody laughing at you because you the bum, you the working guy, you the square, you keep trying to get your money, or you going through, dark times, and you don't fell into addiction and depression, and because Jake struggled in this nation. Jake struggled. We struggled in this nation. We were the slaves. We suffered bad in this nation. So for us to be seeing this nation finally collapsing and falling apart, we know that our time is on the rise, and that everything that we was told, we gonna get them. We gonna get it. Riches, all that, everything beyond your wildest imaginations, you gonna get from Yahweh. But the convergence is starting now. So if I was you, anybody that hear my little transmission, if I was reading the Bible, I would repent. I would try to get to Yahweh that's even faster, because time is running out. Time is short. Time is very short. Do the best you can to sacrifice everything that you got to sacrifice, and to prepare your ark. Even if it's just you, even if you can't, persuade your girlfriend, if you can't persuade your kids, oh no, my kids don't need to know all that. All they need to know is Christmas. You know, this type of spirit, this blind spirit, you gonna have to be prepared to let them go, bro. Like, it's just what it is, dog.
Oh, don't worry. The Fed's got our back. Economy is the best. We'll be fine. You guys are just, you're chicken little, saying the sky is falling. It's not falling. It's going to be fine. What happens when your neighbor comes knocking on your door because their kids are starving? Do you think they're going to be wanting your food too and your money? And that's why I told the story of the U.S. Marine Corps and the U.S. Navy throwing us out in the woods. On day 3, we went primal. That little raccoon, I still remember, there was 7 men, 25-year-old men. You know how much we can eat at 25. And this little raccoon was smaller than a chicken. And I could hear myself growling. I want that piece. You can't have that piece. You can't. And then there was another group of 7 men came and said, you can't. No, leave us alone. So it was another group coming in and said,
Wait, I'm gonna get a part two. It's at its time limit right now, and I'm gonna get another part two. And yeah, I'll be back. Hang on.